guys? It is John from Side Hustle Experiment. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm a six-figure online arbitrage seller, formerly done bulk books. Today's video, I am going to talk about how in the last 2 months, I did 20K in sales on Amazon, but in the last 30 days, I've been able to do $46,000. And I'm going to talk to you about 4 of the biggest lessons I've learned while doing this. What was the biggest driver in the doubling of the sales, and basically everything I've learned along the way. So let's just get into it. So number 1, this was the most, number 4 is going to be the most impactful, so stick around for that. But number 1 was I was able to leverage historical data of things I've sold in the past. So I was able to, one store that I shop at frequently tends to run a certain sale. And basically the first time around, I ordered 10 items or 10 of one SKU. And they came in, I got them to Amazon, they sold within a week. Next time the sale came around, I ordered another 10, maybe 15. Same exact thing happened. Sold in about a week. And probably the first time around, I probably should have upped that to like 20 or 30. But I was kind of just nervous. I was like, oh, maybe it was just a fluke. You know, you sold the first 10. Can you sell another 10? Will it work? Will it not work? And basically, this time around, the sale came, I ordered about 40 to 50 of each. Now, this was after a lot of analysis. So basically, I use Inventory Labs to track my sales and to list items. The Prep Center uses this as well. And they have a report in there called ASIN profitability. So basically, you could take that ASIN, drop it in the ASIN profitability, select you want to see all the sales just on that one ASIN. And it will show you how many returns there were, how much profit you've made off this SKU, and a couple other things. There's also a history report that you could pull up that I just found out about, and it will show you exactly how much profit you made on each. But basically what I'm looking at is, 1, did we make money on this product? Sounds crazy, but sometimes, you know what, if you buy something 2-3 weeks or 2-3 months ago, and maybe you liquidated it, you forgot about it, and maybe you only made like $10, $20 on it. So I'm looking at that. Number 2, I'm looking at returns. How many returns does this product get? What can I expect? And this was a little more complicated to do because when you're buying 5 to 10 of a unit, if you have 2 returns at 10 units, that's 20% return rate. So you got to keep that in mind. So if you bought maybe, I don't know, a bigger amount and 5 got returned, then your return rate goes a lot further down. Now, most of this stuff I'm buying is apparel. Number 2, what I looked at, if you go into Seller Central, you type in the ASIN in your manage inventory, you will see it will come up your SKU that you're using. So if you click on that SKU, it's going to bring up a graph, and it's going to show you exactly how much you've sold of that item in the last 30 days. I think it goes 90 days, and then maybe 180, then 360. So basically what I'm using for this graph is I'm looking when I bought the item, and then when the first sale was of the actual item, and then when did I sell out? So basically, I'm trying to judge how quickly this item is selling. So for example, for these 10 items, after the first sale, all the other items sold of this SKU within 7 days. So obviously, this moves very quickly. If you could sell 10 in 7 days, obviously maybe you could sell 40. Just doing the math, but probably you could do even more just based on the volume. So those are kind of the things I'm looking at. And I looked at all of that data, and then started making decisions on how much I should buy. On the most popular stuff that sold through within a week, I basically got about anywhere from 30 to 50 of that item. I also looked at other variations on the listing. So for this example, if you're selling apparel, there's going to be different sizes. So you got small, medium, large, XL, double XL. Also, you have colors. So maybe it's black, white, gray, I don't know, any color you can imagine. And started testing some of those for next time. So for the ones I was testing for next time, I was basically buying about 10 to 20 of those just based on what I thought on the listing. Usually, when a listing is ranked really well, from my experience, and again, this is all just from my experience, could be different for anyone, but usually, if it's a quick moving listing, a lot of the variations on that listing will move quick as well. And one of the best ways to test that is basically to buy something, send it in, and see how quickly it sells. So that is number one, basically figuring out how quickly past units have sold based on basically 2 test buys that I've done, and then making decisions based on that. Number 2, I have learned that stock count matters a lot. So Amazon definitely, I didn't really understand this concept until just recently. A lot of people have said, oh, if you have a lot of stock, you get the buy box more. If you stay in stock, Amazon really likes that and they'll reward you with the buy box. And in these cases, it is very true. Amazon has definitely, as I went deeper on these items, I definitely noticed getting more buy box share and at higher prices. So some people are priced lower than me, but the buy box is rotating towards me. I think because I have more stock. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into winning the buy box, location, all sorts of stuff, and other seller metrics. But definitely having more product in stock has definitely helped, and that is a huge factor. Now, it's obviously you don't want to just buy something for the first time and buy like 30 or 40 unless you think you really know what you're doing. But in this case, I had 2 successful buys and sell through. And basically, I was like, okay, I'm confident enough that I'm going to go deeper on this. Number 3, this is the last one before we get to the big one. It takes time to test these items. So basically, I was just like, I don't understand how people are going basically from like 0 to 50K. How are they doing this? Or basically like me, I did 20K in sales. Now, hopefully this month we'll do about, hopefully at this pace, probably over 50,000 in sales. And it's really once you find those winning products after testing 2 or 3 times, going deep on those, it makes it so much easier to really scale quickly once you find those products. And that is basically, for the first time around that I bought 10, like I said. So it takes, a week to arrive, another week to kind of get into Amazon. Maybe they do some FC transfer, and then it finally goes live, and maybe it takes a week to sell. So we're talking about 3 weeks. Now I'm like, okay, this is great. But the sale is not going on anymore. So now the sale comes around again. I do the same exact thing. And then 3 weeks, everything kind of sells through or whatever. That's kind of just a rough estimate. So now I'm like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then I have to wait for the sale to come around again. So this took about probably 2 to 3 months. Again, this is just kind of general, an estimate, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. So it's going to take you time to test these products. I tested a ton of products as well, buying like between 5 and 10, and a lot didn't work, but the ones that have worked really well are really, really doing well right now. So now it's just finding to continue to test and continue to buy the winners. So that's kind of the key. Keep buying the winners, but also keep testing to find new winners. Number 4, this is the most important one, and this was the one I struggled with the most. And that is getting the confidence to go that deep. So, for example, when I went this deep on all these products, I think I spent between $8,000 and $10,000 in about 48 hours. The most I've ever spent in 2 days, and it was very, I wouldn't say nerve-wracking, but it kind of gives you that feeling, hey, is this really going to work? It worked twice. What happens if this time the price tanks and I lose all this money? And all that kind of stuff goes through your head. But I had the data that's saying, you know what? Historically, based on Keepa, this is still a good product. The last year or two, the price has stayed pretty much the same. Yep, there's been some dips and you look into why there are dips. So most of the time where there's a dip in the price, a lot of people jumped on the listing, and then you'll see people start to come off and that price start to creep up again. So I saw that and really took that into mind, saying, you know what? I think this is going to be good. And sure enough, it's working out. Now, not to say that if I did go this deep that, maybe other people caught on or other people found out about this product and went really deep as well. But these are very quick moving products, and that is a big factor. So this is ranked, most of the stuff is ranked under 50K. Some of it's even in like the 25K range. So this is stuff that can move really, really quick. And if the price should tank or something should go wrong, I know since it moves a lot of volume, I should be able to liquidate it really quickly if I have to. So those are the 4 lessons / things that have got me from 20K 2 months ago to about 45K in the last 30 days. 1, leveraging your historical sales. See what you've sold in the past, go back, see if it's still profitable. If you were able to sell it through quickly and it's still profitable, maybe double what you bought before and kind of see how much you think you can move. Number 2, stock count matters a lot. If you find a winner and know it's going to be a winner, go deep, go in. If you were able to move 20, try 40. If you're able to move 40, try 80. Basically, I try to just keep doubling the number to see. And worst comes to worst, instead of selling through in about a month, now you have like a month and a half worth of stock or whatever. Number 3, it takes time to test these, get this results, and make sure that these are solid products. You don't want to be spending $10,000 on stuff that you're not 100% sure is really going to pan out. You want solid data. And again, even if you have solid data, stuff could not go your way. Just putting that out there. And number 4, having the confidence to go deep based on your experience. And this also comes with hanging out with people who are doing bigger numbers than you, talking to people weekly, having people push you, telling you know what you're doing, man. You got to go deeper. This is how you grow. And instead of being like, yeah, right, say, okay, this person is doing more than me. I'm going to take their advice, implement it. And that's exactly what happened the last kind of month-ish. And that's kind of why I saw so much growth. So that is what I have for you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share this. Take a screenshot. Tag me on Instagram @SideHustleExperiment, and I will see you guys in the next video.